I love that fucking song, bro. I swear to God, bro. And I made that shit. I ain't gonna get into it right now, fam. But if you fuck with me, if you on my Facebook, you done probably heard my song before. If you haven't listened, I'm gonna release the songs, fam. These songs probably about like at least 3-4 years old. But that's besides the point. I came on here today to talk to y'all about the plan-demic back in 2020 when that shit jumped off. It was like around March, right? The Ides of March or whatever. Now, they shut everything down. Everybody was running in a craze, you know what I'm saying? Stocking up on toilet paper, getting hella water, hella food, and all of that shit. That fucked everything up, and now the stores had to put limits on what you could get. You know, how long they stayed open. Some of them was 24 hours. They didn't change that shit to closing at 10. But y'all don't. Did y'all see the pattern? Did y'all catch that? I caught it. See, the first thing that made me go, this shit ain't right, is knowing how the mucous membrane works. Now, any foreign object that come outside that's airborne, that comes into your body, or if it gets in your intestinal tract, like if you ingest something with some E. coli or something like that on there, your mucous membrane gonna react to it. You're gonna either shit it out, throw it up, sneeze it, or sweat it. These are pretty much the results of foreign objects, foreign bodies in your body. What made me go, yeah, nah, this ain't it, Chief, was understanding that Corona was asymptomatic. That's a fucking lie. Ain't no asymptomatic, nothing. That's a virus. Your mucous membrane is going to pick up on that. So why are we shutting shit down, opening it back up, closing it back down? It's all a money grab. It's all to make people poor, pretty much. In the grand scheme of things, you shut everything down, you put out this pandemic money, you give people all of this funding and everything like that. Well, if we keep feeding them this money, ain't nobody gonna work, so we're gonna kill the workforce off. You know, you see a lot of businesses that launched in 2020, but are they still here today is the question. See, a lot of people want to get in on a PPP loan, and they just setting traps left and right for niggas. Don't fall for the shit. Know that the coronavirus is literally in your face with the name itself, Corona. That's some Spanish for crown, my nigga. They got the cap, they got the gridlock on you with that shit, folks. Like, you gotta understand that, like, when it's all said and done, bro, research is key. You can't just rely on shit coming across your Facebook feed with some music behind it and somebody saying something that's somewhat semi-deep, and you just get to feeling that shit and reposting it and shit like, oh my god, it's so 100 or whatever the fuck. See, that's how they got y'all ass with that coronavirus. The news every night at 9 o'clock, all that fucking dramatic ass music, and oh, so many deaths happen over here, blah blah blah. There's been a new outbreak and all of that crazy ass shit. They just scaring you. This is fear tactics, nigga. That's what's been killing y'all and making y'all sick. That stress, that fear, that subconscious that's been telling your ass, I gotta be careful, I might get sick. We see the results of that today. You still got people riding around in their cars, walking around, just wearing masks, period. If you're still wearing a mask right now, you are a fucking... Look, I can't even say that, fam. I can't even say y'all dumb. Because you really don't know. You really don't even understand what's going on. You just a sheep in the herd right now. It's sad, fam, to see. Like, y'all really thinking that shit protecting you. Look, if I fart through one of them motherfuckers, you gon' smell it on my mama. That shit ain't gonna be pleasant either. On baby. But you gon' smell it though, so that's telling you right there, if a scent can through there, bro, a microorganism ain't gonna protect you. It's been firefighters, fucking medical professionals already been told the world and shit, yeah, this shit really don't protect you from much. The N95s even got limits on that shit. So it's like, if you gonna catch it, you gonna catch a cough, a cold, or something. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be asymptomatic. I mean, it's not going to be asymptomatic. It's going to be something like the flu or a regular cold or something. You're going to feel something. You're going to get a sniffle or some shit like that. So the asymptomatic is bullshit. This guy, Dr. Fauci, nothing but a mob member. You can look at him and tell that he's just a player in the game. He ain't no fucking doctor. But yeah, man. And another thing I wanted to add it too, like, they had curfew all of a sudden. Like the shit come out and start gang banging at like 10 o'clock at night, 9 o'clock at night. Why did they have curfews? What was the point of that? Well, in the daylight, they was already showing you they had a shit ton of them cable trucks and utility vehicles just scattered across the city, going in these sewers, putting these little magnets or whatever the hell they was planting underground. Not only that, but they was popping up these 5G towers, and you notice that shit was that shit was just popping up like dandelions, my nigga. Like every other fucking place you would go, every other week, it'll be probably like 2 or 3 new towers in your area. They got more fucking 5G towers than they do goddamn regular cell towers with like the EVDO and 3G, 4G, you know that generation. So why all of a sudden, over the course of a fucking year, we plant and we put up all of these other electromagnetic frequency, you know what I'm saying, receptors and senders. What the fuck is the point of that? Well, it's to pretty much, in essence, cook you. You can't say that we had problems with internet connection and all that shit, bro. All that shit been running how it's been running before this 5G shit. So why do we even need 5G? We don't need this shit. But in order to roll that out, let's go ahead and make a pandemic jump off. We can pretty much put everybody on government assistance, some type of government aid, make them reliant on that, you know what I'm saying? And put them in a position where they pretty much can't pay us back, or they trip up on some shit, and then we can capitalize off of them and put them in jail or fine them a ridiculous amount or whatever the case may be. They set the traps for niggas, and niggas fall for them. That's why you gotta be ahead of the game. You gotta be ahead of the curve with the information that you get. You can't just be online just looking at everybody else's life. You gotta look into these laws, man. You gotta look into these laws, and you gotta look into whatever the fuck is going on around you. Actually use your eyes. Now it's insane how many fucking 5G towers it was today in comparison to the end of 2019, right? Early 2020, before they started shutting everything down. You didn't even see them motherfuckers out there like that. Now it's like 4 or 5 of them every other block. They got them disguised as trees and all that shit. They real heavy down there in the black populated areas. I know that, in the inner city, downtown, all that shit. You can't tell me that it has anything to do with picking up good signal or getting a good reception, because we've been doing that shit with EVDO, 3G, and 4G, so that is some bullshit. That can't be the case. It's gotta be something bigger than that. But, once again, crown virus, corona, that's your intuition. They messed with it. They messing with it, and they fucking us up. Everywhere you turn, people believing and buying to a bunch of crazy shit. Why is that? Well, you can be influenced easily, for one, if you're not grounded, if your diet's not right, if you're not staying active, if you're not in this shit actually taking care of yourself, you're going to be manipulated by that energy. Please believe it. That's why it's a lot of crime and crazy shit going on. Got these little kids out here stealing cars and all that shit. Motherfuckers is out here shooting women and fucking killing each other. And it seems more intense now than it was in 2020, back when everything was locked down. I don't know. Is it a side effect from the shot? Did you go to the doctor and he found out you got something? Is that the case? Is that why you're out here running mad? I don't know. Or is it just your mind's messed up because that shit is actually affecting your nervous system, which is connected to the brain, what the brain is connected to, obviously. So if they can get in your nervous system, they can get in your mind too, folks. If they can make you feel a certain way physically, they can make you feel a certain way emotionally too. Them nanoparticles are strong as fuck. They underestimate it. Don't underestimate them. Don't sit here and ignore them chemtrails neither. That shit got nanoparticles in it like a motherfucker. We all know that. A lot of people don't look into it though. They'll just see some shit come across their little feed and then they'll probably get a opinion on it, whatever. But it is important to know, fam. Don't always fall for the okie doke. Don't fall for the okie doke. Fuck, not always. Don't fall for that shit ever, nigga. Fuck all that. Whenever the government tell you something, 9 times out of 10 it's best to do the opposite. Don't fucking forget history. Don't forget the Tuskegee experiment. Don't forget what Bill Gates did down there in Kenya in the early 2000s with that vaccine he was trying to pull. And now he's the head of the WHO, the World Health Organization. He don't know shit about health. He barely know anything about fucking computers. He just capitalized off the shit. But I'm gonna get up out of here, y'all. I love y'all. Y'all take care.
Entertainment is how we paying it. Out here shucking and jiving.